Alrighty guys, hey, happy, I believe it's what, Friday for you? Happy Friday. So today we're moving on to 5.2, which is all about long division and synthetic division. So notice that you have a 2-page packet in front of you. We're only going to do the front page today. So you're only going to be talking about long division today. And long division is something that you have seen before. So picture you have like 6,348 and you're dividing that by 8. Okay, so once you went through this process, you'd have this big long train of stuff to get your remainder and your answer up here. So that's exactly what we're doing here, except now we're working with polynomials. And it's super nice because you can use this process to divide any polynomial. So there's no rules here with what you can and cannot divide. Okay, so just keep that in mind. With long division, you can divide any two polynomials. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right in here. So this is your divisor, the x minus 5, and we are dividing x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take x squared minus 2x minus 15 and put that inside of my division sign. So x squared minus 2x minus 15, that's going to go inside my division sign. I'm going to put x minus 5, my divisor, on the outside. Okay, so I'm dividing this by x minus 5. So now we're going to get started. So focus on these first two terms right here. I'm going to ask myself, what times x will get me to x squared? So what times x is x squared? Well, x times x is x squared. So since I know x times x is x squared, I'm going to put an x up here in the x spot. Okay. So x times x is x squared. So now I'm going to take this x and multiply it by x. So x times x is x squared. I'm going to put that down here. Then I'm also going to take this x and multiply it by the negative 5. So x times negative 5 is negative 5x. If you do this process correctly, these two numbers right here should always cancel out. Okay, so in this case, they are the same numbers, so they will cancel out. Our next step is to subtract, okay, the top or the bottom from the top, okay? When you do this, all right, so remember when we subtract, we have to distribute this negative sign to both parts. So let's think about it like this. X squared minus x squared is 0, okay? Negative 2x minus a negative 5x. What have we just done? We have a negative and a negative. This becomes positive, right? So negative 2x plus 5x is positive 3x. I'm going to bring down this negative 15. Okay, so now we do the process all over again. So what times x will get you to be 3x? Well, 3 times x is 3x. So I'm going to put a plus 3 up here. So then I'm going to multiply this 3 by the x. So 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. All right. Then I'm going to subtract the bottom from the top. So I'm just going to change their sign. So this positive 3x becomes negative 3x. And this negative 15 becomes positive. So 3x minus 3x is 0. Negative 15 plus 15 is also 0. Okay, so then for our answer, since we know we're done because there's no more numbers up here to bring down, and we've also reached 0 right here. So our answer, we can find it from up here. So my answer here is just x plus 3. Okay? All right, you guys, you can get this. I know you can. Let's go over here to B. So now, instead of giving you the dividing sign, I've actually written this question in more of like a fraction form. But this line right here, that still means division. Okay, so that means the same thing. So here we're taking 2x cubed plus 4x minus 6 and dividing it by x plus 3. So let's set this up. I have 2x cubed plus 4x minus 6, and I'm dividing that by x plus 3. Okay. All right, so let's start with our first two terms. What times x will get me to be 2x cubed? okay? Oh, I forgot something, guys. Sorry, cross this out. Cross that out, sorry. Okay, so we gotta talk about something here. Learning moment. Okay, so here I have 2x cubed plus 4x minus 6. So notice I skipped over an x squared, okay? When that happens, you have to put in a placeholder, okay? Because what needs to happen is when you set up your dividing problem, you need to account for every place value from your highest exponent all the way down to the constant, okay? So in this case, we are missing an x squared. So what we're going to do is when we set up our division, we're going to have 2x cubed. Then since I don't have an x squared value, I'm going to put plus 0x squared, okay? So because I have to account for that spot, but since it's just a 0, it doesn't change anything, okay? It just is a placeholder. Then plus 4x minus 6, okay? There may be some problems where you have 2 or 3 placeholders, okay? But you've got to make sure that you are accounting for every place from your highest exponent all the way down to the constant. Now we can put in our x plus 3. Okay, now we can get started. Sorry, little setback. Okay, that's why you always write in pencil, people. All right, so what times x will get me to be 2x cubed? 2x squared will. All right, so I'm going to multiply 2x squared by both of these terms out here. So 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. 2x squared times 3 is plus 6x squared. Then I'm going to change my signs here. So I have positive 2x cubed becomes negative. Positive 6x squared becomes negative. 2x cubed minus 2x cubed is 0. 0x squared minus 6x squared is negative 6x squared. Bring down the 4x. Okay, same process. What times x will get me to be negative 6x squared? Negative 6x will. So now I multiply negative 6x by both these terms. So negative 6x times x is negative 6x squared. Negative 6x times 3 is negative 18x. Okay. So now we need to change these signs. So both of these numbers are negative, so those just easily become positive. Negative 6x squared plus 6x squared is 0. 4x plus 18x is 22x. I'm going to bring down my last number, negative 6. What times x will get me to be 22x? Positive 22 will. So 22 times x is 22x. 22 times 3 is positive 66. Okay. Now to subtract, I'm going to change my signs on here. So positive 22x becomes negative and positive 66 becomes negative. 22x minus 22x is 0. Negative 6 minus 66 is negative 72. Now I know I'm done because I have no more numbers to bring down up here. Okay, so this number is what we call our remainder. Okay, so don't ignore it. It's still a part of the problem, but it is our remainder. So now to write our answer, we look back up here, okay? And so our answer is 2x squared minus 6x plus 22. But then I still have this remainder of negative 72 down here. So to write that in our answer, we just need to write negative 72 over our divisor, x plus 3. Okay? And this is our answer. The sign right here is totally determined on the sign on the remainder. Okay, so since the negative 72 is negative, that's a subtraction sign right there. Awesome, guys. Okay, one more. So just like we talked about, this means division, this line means division, this negative exponent also means division. Okay? So we're going to set this up just like any division problem. This is our divisor, okay? So I'm going to have, inside my parentheses, I'm going to have x to the fourth minus 3x cubed plus 5x minus 6. But notice right here, what am I missing? I'm missing my x squared term, so I'm going to need to put a placeholder in for that. So I have x to the 4th minus 3x cubed plus 0x squared is a placeholder plus 5x minus 6. Put in our dividing sign, and then x plus 2 on the outside. Okay? Okay, so actually that's a square root sign. Okay, so now let's focus on these first two numbers. So what times x will get us to be x to the 4th? X to the 3rd. I'm going to multiply x to the 3rd by both these terms. So x to the 3rd times x is x to the 4th. X to the 3rd times 2 is plus 2x to the 3rd. Now I'm going to subtract these two from the top two, so I'm going to change their sign. So positive x to the 4th becomes negative, positive 2x cubed becomes negative. X to the 4th minus x to the 4th is 0. Negative 3x cubed minus 2x cubed is negative 5x cubed. Bring down your 0x squared. Okay, so what times x will get me to negative 5x cubed? Negative 5x squared. All right, negative 5x squared times x is negative 5x cubed. Negative 5x squared times positive 2 is negative 10x squared. Now I need to change my signs down here, so change these negatives to positives. Negative 5x cubed plus 5x cubed is 0. 0x squared plus 10x squared is positive 10x squared. Bring down my positive 5x. All right, guys, same process. What times x will get me to be 10x squared? Positive 10x. 10x times x is 10x squared. 10x times 2 is 20x. Okay, to subtract these, I'm going to change my signs on both. 10x squared minus 10x squared is 0. 5x squared minus 20x squared is negative 15x. Or sorry, 5x minus 20x is negative 15x. Bring down my 6. Minus 6. Last round, so what times x will get me to be negative 15x? Negative 15. Negative 15 times x is negative 15x. Negative 15 times 2 is negative 30. Okay, change my signs down here. Negative 15x plus 15x is 0. Negative 6 plus 30 is 24. Okay, again, this is my remainder. And I know I'm done because I have no more numbers to bring down up here. So now let's just write our answer, which we get right here. So we have x cubed minus 5x squared plus 10x minus 15. And then to write our remainder, okay, since this is a positive 24, I'm going to put plus 24 and put that over our divisor, which was x plus 2. And that is our answer. Okay, guys, so that was long division. So if you go on my website, you're going to see these video notes, the blank notes for 5.2, my filled out notes for 5.2, and then also 2 additional videos from YouTube that I've watched completely that line up with what I'm teaching here. So sometimes we go on YouTube and we find videos to help us, but that actually make us more confused. The videos that I've posted are ones that would be beneficial for you to watch that line up with how I taught this, and that hopefully won't confuse you anymore. Okay, that will actually bring you some clarity. So go onto my website, look at those YouTube videos if you need more help, but also rewatch these notes, okay? Go back over your notes, do them again, but also just feel free to email me questions. All right, bye guys.